Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Rocking the Spectrum. Today is an important day. Today is Christian's IEP, and I feel like it's an important one because it's for, I guess, leading to kindergarten. So I wish I would have made a video earlier talking about the IEP because I wanted to get your guys' input and ask what you guys asked or what you guys did for the IEPs. I have Christian's PCBA going with us, so I feel not as nervous, but I do want to make sure I have questions, and I think I do. I wrote some down. Right now we're driving. We're about to get there. Hugo stopped by for some food or some snacks because he's starving and he needs to focus.
If I don't eat, I can't focus.
Yeah, so I was like, stop by.
I'll be physically in the meeting, but I will not be paying attention. I'll be thinking of food. And I already hit the gym, so
yeah. So
sorry, I'm allowed to have a snack.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and roll the clips of this morning. We were up to some shenanigans, so you'll see that right now. Hugo is setting up the volleyball net we just bought yesterday. Hopefully he can set it up pretty fast. It says ready in 5 minutes, but it's actually been 10 minutes. So he swore he would get it done in 5. So I'm just being silly with him. Let's go bug him. The timer just rang. I'm warming up for the gym. We're gonna test this new net out. I'm gonna destroy my husband. I almost made my high school team for volleyball, just so that you guys know. I'm good. I was a server. You ready, babe? The sun's in my eyes, so, you know, just keep that in mind. What was that? Let me show you how master does it. Ah! Don't worry, I'm only warming up.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna be happy. Ah! Got it! 10 years later, I still have it. Ah! Why am I a screamer? Wait, why are you being so dramatic?
3, 2.
Okay. I'm the winner. What the heck? Everybody knows I'm the winner. So yeah, like I said, we are about 8 minutes away. We're gonna get this in our bellies, and then we'll definitely talk to you guys about what went on. I'm nervous, but I'm excited, and hopefully it's good news. Hi guys, literally walking into the house after the IEP meeting. We have 10 minutes till ABA starts, but oh my God, that was the most intense IEP meeting of my life ever. Wow, like, oh, you guys, I have so much to tell you guys. I feel like my mom claws are like, you know, I was trying to be calm, but I got a little heated, but not in there, you know. I kept my cool, but I still feel my heart like. But yeah, I'll sit down with Hugo, we'll talk. Hopefully we can remember. We had like a whole discussion in the car, so we kind of already vented, but maybe it'll let me really process and explain to you guys like why I'm kind of upset. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit. I have 10 minutes and then I'll pick you guys back up. All right, I got my cup of joe, our love is slow roasted. Love is slow roasted. Okay, so we're gonna start off from the beginning. We're gonna give you like a play-by-play. So picture this, you know, the teacher greets us, leads us to the room where we're gonna have the meeting, and then there's 2 ladies in the room. One is the school district, like, director, something having to do with the special needs program, you know, the autism kids program. And the other one is a general ed pre-K school. So she's just a teacher. I'm not even really sure why she was there. Maybe they needed a amount, like 4 people in there. She was kind of available maybe, because she didn't really have anything to do with
No, but I think she was there just as a witness.
Yeah, and then not randomly, they did mention, but the vice principal popped in. She said that he might do that to observe the IEP meeting and make sure everything was in order. So, and he kind of left before it got heated though, huh?
Yeah.
So let's start with that. So we introduced ourselves to them, and Melissa, our BCBA, came with us, which was extremely helpful. Like, I don't even know if we would have gotten everything that we needed to get done without her.
Yeah, she was really helpful.
Okay, so our BCBA came with us, so we get there in time, we introduce ourselves, and then we sit down. And the first thing that the district lady from the school districts did was she went over our rights as parents. No, actually, I take it back. First thing that she did was we introduced ourselves, and Melissa introduced herself as a BCBA. And the thing that from the get-go kind of like annoyed me was it seemed like she was trying to say, I have the power, I'm the powerful, because as soon as Melissa said she's the BCBA, she was like, oh, I've never heard of that. What is that? And in my mind, I'm like, if you do meetings, IEP meetings, she said at least 4 times a week, and she's in this program, how do you not know what a BCBA is? She was kind of trying to undermine her from the get-go.
What is an IEP for those
Individualized education plan.
Yes.
And it's individual, so Christian's education plan.
Yeah. So that's what IEP stands for. And how is it broken down into pieces?
Well, it starts off with kind of explaining where his cognitive skill is, and then it breaks it down to social skills, growth skills. So in the beginning, it was kind of a summary of what Christian can do and cannot do. So it'll be like Christian does not respond to his name, Christian is social, Christian hits, Christian points, just a little summary of what he does. And then that's what she read off of the first year's IEP.
So when we walk in, they do a comparison of last year's IEP to where we're at right now, right? And so on. So we just did another IEP, then we're going to compare it a year from now, right?
Exactly.
So every year he gets evaluated, in other words, and that's just IEP, in other words, would also be like setting goals for him.
Yeah, and then to see if he's met them. If he hasn't, what we should change,
Yeah.
So it's just revising, revisiting, and seeing if we need to change anything, pretty much. So let's backtrack a little bit. So we went over the last year's IEP, and then we went over a brief summary of what he's doing now. So we started talking about how he communicates in class, and she said that Christian usually pulls her and points to what he wants. And I mentioned, we really want to work on a communication system. So she did say that she has pictures for him all around the room, as well as a little PEC book. She didn't really say that she was doing PECs, but that's pretty much PECs if he's pointing to what he wants. So then in the goal, it said to start using the PEC system, but the way that she was describing it was he's already using the PEC system. So that was one of the things that it seemed like the goals were very general and not specific to Christian. So after trying to pull these answers from her, like, he points to what he wants. Yeah, we make him choose. Yeah, our goal kind of in her words was we want him to bring me the PEC. That's their goal, like I asked, so when you bring the 2 pictures, he chooses the right one every time, he differentiates what he wants. She's like, yeah, no problem. I was like, okay, so that's good. So the goal actually is bring me the PEC. That's your goal. She said yes. So then we decided as a team, after communicating, to start using the iPad. Right? That's the big thing. So they all agreed after a big discussion that we'll bring the iPad in his backpack, and it'll be going back and forth from home to school. Hi, buddy.
Which is good, because by us using the iPad, we're actually using the same images when it comes down to PECs. So
it's universal.
It's universal. The same PECs they're using at school are the same ones we'd be using at home, because it's on the iPad. The iPad that we use here in therapy, now it's going to be going in Christian's backpack.
So hopefully it'll be more of everybody uses it, so he's connecting it more to that's how I communicate, And she wanted the goal to be from give me the PEC from really far away, and we said honestly a realistic goal would be give me the iPad from right here. We'll start really close by where he knows he needs to bring it,
reaching for
and then slowly get the distance, and then at one point he'll know, oh, the iPad, I need to tell them what I want.
Which he already is
in a way,
yeah, because he does bring the iPad to us
randomly.
Randomly.
But he does do it in ABA.
But yes, we need it to be consistent, and we need school's help as well to help us push it every day.
So now let's talk about pottying. So we know that at home and with ABA, he has the whole routine of I have to pull my pants down, my underwear, sit down, pull them up, wash my hands. And all of that takes a little bit of effort. You know, like we have to keep prompting him because he just likes to take his time. At school, they said that he doesn't really do that for them. And I guess one of the reasons was lack of time, right? That they said, like, one of the things they said is we have 7 kids and we can't give them one-on-one as much as we would like, right? And we understand that, but at the same time, this is his IEP. We're talking about Christian. So if he can do this, at home and in therapy, how can we translate this to school, right?
When you let them know that what he was doing at home and how he was going about pulling down his pants, washing his hands, you let them know how he could do all those things at school as well, and maybe they shouldn't do hand over hand as much.
Yeah, so just let him be a little more independent. Yeah, that's the main thing that we took out of that. Like,
but with letting him be more independent, just be a little bit more patient with him.
Yeah. So we understand that there's a lot of kids and there's not enough time maybe, and there's all these things in that class setting, but just I wanted them to keep in mind he can do all these things, so just let him try.
Yeah.
Just give him the space to do it, even if he is taking a little bit longer. Just tell him, you got to pull him down, and he will.
Which goes to also when they ask him to do something. He had a 3-minute window that he needs to do it.
So a big thing that they talk about is that he doesn't focus at during any tasks, or even when they're just sitting down at the table, that he'll try to get up and away. So he'll stand up, and I was like, how often does he stand up? She said very often, like consistent. Like he'll just stand up, go to the board, and just like bang on the board. And I asked him, so what are we doing to try to minimize that? And she said, well, we get up and we tell them, oh, that's not, we have to sit at the table. So I told them, Christian gets kind of like a joy out of getting a rise out of you. So if he can get up, even if you're telling him that's not it, you have to sit down, he's gonna keep doing it because it's kind of like a game for him. Yeah. So I told them, let's make it better to sit down than to stand up. So if he is sitting for, let's say, 30 seconds, reward that, like, good job sitting down. That's how we sit down. Give him a tangible. So give him a candy, give him a toy, whatever. You're wanting him to be like, oh, if I sit down, I'm going to get all these things, cool. And then he'll just start understanding that, So she made that a goal. Like, okay, so whenever he's sitting calmly for however long it is, we're going to reward that, like let him know you're doing a good job.
We're not always going to do candies?
No, not always.
That's something that you kept saying candy.
I did? Oh, my bad. I just meant like anything, like he likes the toys, the fuzzy toys. But I was also thinking, since he loves bananas, we could do the dehydrated banana chips. Yeah, just something that lets him know, I did good. Instead of you're doing this wrong again, like it's not working clearly if he's standing up so often. So with communication, we asked the teacher also if we could have a way of communicating with each other, because right now there's no communication, and she said yes. So we're gonna actually do the class dojo, which I loved, I had last year for Christian. She agreed that she's gonna learn how to use it because she's not very she's just not that tech savvy. She likes to do things old school. So I really don't care. But one of the teachers brought up that we could do class dojo and how easy it is to just touch, did good communication, touch a good star for potty, little things like that. And I was like, definitely, that's awesome. So we actually wrote that down on the plan: communication, teacher, and home, back and forth. So that was awesome. And then one other thing we were discussing, just basic goals that were very generalized. Our BCBA helped us to tell them how to do it. So Christian won't focus at all, and the teacher said she gives them 2 minutes to focus. So that means if she told them put puzzle in, she lets him sit and process, she said, for up to 2 minutes. And that's nice, and I understand. She said, kids with autism, they need time to process, and that's true. But Christian will take advantage of that, and he'll start drifting and stimming and this and that, and he's not even there anymore in the task. So we told him to just bring that down to, I think we said 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Of literally looking, and that means you would understand if you're do puzzle and he's looking and processing, okay. But if you say do puzzle and he's over here, then he's gone already. He's not even trying. So we brought that down, we generalized it, and we did that so often, and there's so many little written notes that she's going to correct. So I'm very happy that our BCBA was there, because she was actually one of the ones that was like, no, this needs to be 80%, this needs to be 20, we need to do this. And because of all these corrections, they got very defend not his teacher per se, but the person that's with the school district. Like, she just had this attitude of, well, we can't potty train him. Like, there's 7 kids. Have you guys thought about trying underwear at home? Like, yes, we have. Have you guys tried about? Yes, we have. You know, like, but it was just very, very defensive.
She was very like standby.
Hostile. Yeah. Like, even Melissa, his BCBA, felt it.
It was we were all sitting on the table. It was what, like 6 of us on the table. And for a second, it was pretty loud in there. I could see
it wasn't everybody back and forth, but it was, I have an idea, I have this, I don't like this, you don't like this. I've never had an IEP like that, ever.
And at that moment, when everyone was getting a little loud, I remember what they told us before, which was
you have to fight for your son.
You gotta fight for what your son deserves in school. And at that moment, all those thoughts were coming into my mind, which comes up to
dun dun dun
the speech.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So let's begin with every time I've had an IEP, which I feel very blessed now that I know what this IEP was like. We were very well taken care of with his former teacher, Miss Maya. Shout out to you. You were awesome. I never felt hostile. I never felt like I need to do this, because everything was already pretty much there. Like, I felt like my kid is being pushed as hard as they can, as much as he can, you know. Everybody has like a little wiggle room, and, you know, we want a little bit of this, but I've never had to like fight for my son, you know. I felt that this time. So his speech pathologist from school has always been in the meeting for IEPs the last 2 years that we've had him in like a regular school. And we walk in and his speech pathologist is in there, and as soon as we're starting, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, his speech teacher, she's not going to be here. She's like, oh no, she's in the other school today, so we have her report. But, you know, it comes to be, they never even read the report to me. You know, I don't know if it was in the end that they were going to do that, but what Hugo was about to say was the whole thing ended in like an escalation, because it turns out Melissa caught that they were cutting
Melissa? Who is Melissa?
His BCVA.
Okay.
She actually pointed out, I didn't even notice. I'm like, if she was in there, would I even had noticed, you know? She caught that they changed his speech hours from 240 hours. They cut it in half, so like what, 150? Let's say if he was doing an hour a week, he was going to be doing 30 minutes.
And who knows if he was even getting
And I don't even know if they've already, you know, like cut it already, because I never get any communication, you know. And I'm a little upset on myself that I've never requested it, but I was trying to be like, you know, like, I'm not going to push as hard, because he is doing good, he is happy, he's not behaviors, you know. I was trying to give us some time because I knew the IEP was coming up. So then when Melissa says, oh, what's going on here? You guys are going from 250 hours a week to 100.
And we had not caught that. She's the one that caught that.
Yeah, so they were like, immediately they were like, oh yeah, we're cutting it because we're cutting that because Christian is not doing well in speech because he's not focusing. Okay, like, that was their response to why he's not getting speech, you know. And as soon as she said that, we were like, what? You know, she's like, yeah, he's not focusing. There's a group of 7 and she can't get him to do the work, so there's no reason to have this many hours, you know. And in my brain, I'm like, what the hell? Okay, Christian is nonverbal. Christian has a limited expressive and receptive language, and you're telling me that you're cutting speech because he doesn't focus? Like, of course he has trouble with focusing. That's one of the issues that we've always had. But he's always had that, and it's never been an issue to get these hours in the other school. Like, it makes no sense to me. And that's when it got kind of heated, and that's when she said something, and I said, no, I'm not okay with the fact that you're cutting speech over the fact that he doesn't focus. I need more than that. Like, and if you guys are cutting it, are you guys going to do one-on-one with him? Is this what's going to happen, or he's just losing hours? So she said, well, his speech teacher isn't here, so we're going to have to table this meeting. If you don't agree with this, we'll have to set up another meeting for when she's here and she can explain it.
Yeah, and there was tension in the room. There was tension in the room.
I already feel heated just remembering. I'm like,
yeah. It was a little awkward because of how much tension was in that room. Because
you have to understand that they kind of what they expect and want, and oh my god, I feel so bad if parents just go with it, you know, like if they don't know what they're looking for and they don't have help, it could just be like, okay, we're gonna cut this, we're not doing this. Man, you know, it sucks, but they can really take advantage in a way of what you don't know.
Yeah, so in cases like this, with IEP evaluations, it's probably best to take someone that's worked in the field
your
or works in the field.
If you have ABA therapy and your BCBA is available,
they have all these acronyms as well that we don't even know what they mean.
At one point when she was like, okay, because they were kind of not fighting, but they were like, oh, he needs to focus for 3 minutes. That makes no sense. We need to make it more like structured and like something realistic. Give him this, give him that. And then the district teacher, not even the teacher, but the district person was like, okay, mom, what do you want? Like, it was like, and I was like, sorry, what was the question? Because it's like so many little, like 80%, 20%, 1 minute, without, like, it was just so much. So definitely bring somebody that knows and like you trust, because I really trust that she knows Christian, you know, she's worked with him, she does his behavior plan, like she's gonna know what he responds to or not. So bring somebody if you can. That is such a big help. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't have fought for certain things, but it made it so much easier to know, like, yeah, we're in the right, yeah, we're a team, you know.
Yeah, we definitely felt like we were in a team with our BCBA.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, BCBA.
But I felt a little bad for the teacher because I know she meant well.
Yeah, it wasn't the teacher more than anything.
It wasn't the teacher's fault. It was just, I don't know why that lady was being a little hostile.
The lady was kind of like an instigator, because like the teacher was very kind, and she even said it like, we're all in this together. It's not this team and that team. Literally her words. It's not this and that team. It's we're a team. And I even told her, like, I really appreciate that you're taking your time. And I told her, honestly, all I need from you is, if I want this, I just need you to be like, even if I can't give you this, we can do this. We need to compromise. You know, I know that it's only you with these many kids, and I know you can't do one-on-one per se, but we need to work together. And the teacher was lovely, and you know, of course you could feel attacked if we're like, no, you wrote this wrong, we need to do this. I can understand that, but she was never hostile. The other lady was just like, rah, 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 no, you know, like. So I feel bad, but okay. You know, the teacher, in the end, we said bye. Hugo said, what did you say to her?
Well, they had already walked out from the room, and it was the teacher and I towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed a little behind. I just let her know that I appreciate everything that she's doing for my son, and I know she really cares for him. And I know she goes beyond.
Mm-hmm.
She goes beyond when it comes down to meeting his needs. By that I mean comforting him.
And just, you know, that there's love there for her children, and that she wants the best for them.
She wants the best for him.
You know, it's not about her. It's what she can give, and there's only so much that she can give, but she wants the best for them, you know. And in the end, I told her, you know, I very much appreciate your time, and I thank you for your patience, and thank you, you know. And you know, she was very kind, and it wasn't her teacher at all. I just felt so much tension from the district person, and the fact that we had a table lit is like crazy to me. Like, I've never had a meeting. This is the kind of meeting that you read about on Facebook, and why I would imagine people get help from school attorneys, kind of like, you know, they get assistance from different places. So it was just very heated, and I felt like I was actually fighting for rights for my son, you know. So this is actually only part one, and I'm sorry if this didn't make sense. Hopefully my sister can edit it to make sense. This is a few hours after the IEP. I spoke to Hugo. I've said so many times, like, can you believe this and that? And I kind of already like vented, but it was just very intense, and it's not even over yet. You know, we agreed to a lot of changes, and I'm happy that we agreed to change certain things that I know will make hopefully Christian's school day better and more structured and focused. It's more now, I feel like, what are we going to do about speech? And I'm going to try to look up some questions. I'm going to talk to Melissa. Hopefully we'll have a meeting within like a week, because this needs to get done fast. But we wanted to give you guys this information, and let us know how your guys' IEP, most recent IEP went. If you guys dealt with something similar. I hope that you guys had an easy one. We've had easy ones for the last 3 years, and this is the first one that was kind of like, whoa, this could actually be a little hard, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're okay, we're good, we're gonna fight, we're a team. And I'm glad that I had him here, because if I didn't, it would have been like me with this emotion and him being like, was it really that bad, you know?
No, I trust you.
No, yeah, but there's nothing like being there. And I'm sure you guys, it's hard to imagine, but there was just so much tension in the room. Even the person that has to type everything, Hugo said that she was like,
intense.
Even Melissa was like, whoa, she was like, we did a good team. And she's like, and Hugo was good cop right over there. Because Hugo was kind of like, Melissa was the one that was like, we need this. And I was like, what, I'm not going to accept that, you know. But I wasn't mean, right?
No.
Okay.
Everything went well. And now
it seems like we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But like, it's just in our mind, everything was very intense, you know.
No,
like,
the room was loud.
Okay,
the room was loud. And there was definitely tension. But stay tuned for part 2.
Yeah, hopefully it goes good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and wish us luck for the next one. We're ready.
We'll see you on the next episode
Bye.
of Rocking the Spectrum.
Say bye, Christian. Bye. Say bye. Bye, Haiti. Say bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Hit the bell.
Click
Subscribe.
the bell and subscribe per Haiti.